How's everybody doing? It's a wonderful day outside. Figured I'd take advantage of it, find a tree, get a little bit of energy. I would like to touch base with incubation, but this is a video pertaining to the pre-incubation adversity that I was facing that steered me to incubation. Some of you know that follow my page, and I advise you to follow my page so you can get an understanding on what my channel is based on, which it was not supposed to be what it turned into. You'll find that out if you view some of my older videos. But the adversity that I was facing prior primarily led to me looking inward and turning back to the Creator. It was the right thing to do. But some of the adversity that I was facing, most of them pertain to domestic issues, and some of the issues that I've been facing for quite some time, even before I met my old lady. But the pre-incubation adversity grew a little bit to be too much, and as I continued to pray and meditate, I was told to go into the incubation cycle, to rest and replant. I'm going to reflect on something in this video that's probably going to get me flagged and probably get me in trouble, but it pertains to my attorney. There has been a lack of clarity coming from my attorney. Throughout time, he's always been like that since I retained him. But he never addressed any of the issues that I had. I would ask him questions and stuff, and he would never, ever answer those questions. And I'm not a dummy, pretty smart dude. But I noticed that he became kind of argumentative at certain times, which I didn't understand. I just asked a simple question, just give me a simple fucking answer. In clarification, please. But during this adversity stage, before I went on my incubation, because as some of you know, I paid $2,000 to get out of jail based on a violation that I committed, just grabbing some clothes, wishing to grab clothes. And the violation was filed a month after the fact, which makes absolutely no sense. But that's the past, and it has passed, and it shall pass. But during the pre-incubation, I noticed that my counsel, which I retained, he started trying to dictate my actions. Like, he asked me how I was doing, and I told him, I said, I just came to terms with everything, and I'm just living the life I have and trying to make it as blissful as possible. Well, it was like that disgruntled him, like it upset him. He said this to me. He said, well, normally you're like this. Or normally you're more, and granted there has been times conversating with him that my emotions were getting the best of me because I was pretty much getting screwed. It was like, man, are you even like fighting for me? You know, do you have my best interest at heart? And I've asked him that over and over again. And it just seems like I couldn't get a straight answer out of him. It was like he was like selling me out. But when I came to terms and I left it in our Creator's hands, because I have no control over any of the sort, I have to leave it up to our Creator, and I believe that He will provide me the best suitable outcome for the situation. But when I told my attorney that it was like he was upset that I'm just making do with what life's presenting me. It was like he was like upset by me just staying in my lane and just living my life. He knows the situation. I've been living in Airbnbs ever since April. And may I remind you, I'm a man that got punched in his face on Easter Sunday when I was just reading a Bible and smoking a cigar. Okay, so let's get that clear right now. Like I said, to get a full understanding of this, you'll have to look at some of my old videos and to see how this shit's transpired. But besides all that, my attorney, only thing that's ever happened since I retained him is he's been delaying court dates, just kicking the can down the road. I spent damn near $27,000 in properties that I'll never own ever since April. And luckily I have the resources, but also at the same time, it's kind of like, man, are you taking advantage of me? I mean, are you just, he doesn't appear to court dates, makes all these damn excuses, he's just kicking the can down the road. And then for him to scrutinize my docile behavior on a recent, by my newfound growth, to me, that's just kind of unacceptable. It's like, why would you say that to me? Like, why would you say, well, normally you're more anxious. Normally you want to, hey man, it is your job to have my best interest at heart. And I'm supposed to sit back and kind of have some life and some tranquility. Wouldn't you think? I mean, I'm asking you guys a question. Wouldn't you think that a console that you retained and you spent $12,000 for a retainer, you would think that they would be having your best interest at heart? Just a question. I tried to specify through research, and with me having all the emails and the trolling comments and stuff, even some of it's even taken place on my channel page, that I've been getting monitored, gang stalked, and I got the receipts. These people that are affiliated even went as far as tried to hijack my phone. And I got a video based on that. And I seen the codes, and they were totally written wrong, and it exposed all their names and everything. And I offered to present this to my retained counsel, and he had absolutely no interest. Now, if your client had information based on criminal activity that should not take place based by law, wouldn't you want that? You would want all that information. So I told him, I said, oh, okay, well, since you appear not to have any interest, I'm just going to take this to the local authorities within that state and present it to them. Then he had the audacity to try to direct me and say, oh, okay, well, you do this and this, this. No. If you are not willing to take this information that I have for you, then you haven't any right at this point to direct me on how to handle it. And not only did stuff like that transpire, which kind of drove me into incubation, I don't have, it's like he doesn't want me to remove myself from the community after all this is said and done. And I told him right from square one that my interest is to get this done. If me and ex cannot damn reconcile our differences and get past this, then I'm just wish to get my things, and it's a lot of things because me and her were together for 7+ years. I mean, there's furniture and every damn thing, and I told my attorney flat out that I'll rather have a bonfire with it than just to give it to her. It's not going down like that. And it's not that I hate her, it's just based on the principle. And I'm not going to be anybody's come up. It's just not going to happen. And why would you want to keep that shit anyway? Why would you want to keep things that really, you know, deep down don't belong to you? But besides all that, I wish to leave the community that I uprooted out of my old community to move with her, to be closer to her. Like I said, watch some of my prior videos and you'll get a truly understanding on how all this stuff started anyway. Now they're telling me, now he's up there like, well, I don't see why you would want to do that. And it's like, wait a minute. I don't want to be in that community anymore. I have faced smear campaigns, gang stalking. I don't want to be in that community anymore. I want to relocate. He's deterring me from that. Like he has a problem with that. Does that make any sense to you guys? Why would you not want what your client is requesting that is more suitable for the best, so they are not continuing to be harassed and can live a normal life again? Why would you not want your client to be not only safe, but also secure and comfortable? And the other thing that is strange, based on the last conversation that I had with him, which drove me into incubation, was the denying of wanting to have a face-to-face meeting. I had retained this console in the month of April, and I don't even know what in the hell he looks like, and he doesn't know what I look like face-to-face. I think that's kind of strange as well. And I've talked to a few people about it, and they said, yes, that's awfully strange. Don't you think that's strange? That somebody that you just transacted $12,000 to be your representative in any case, I don't care what it is. Ain't that kind of strange that they're just kicking more paperwork but has no interest in meeting you after you volunteered to come to them, which would have been a 3.5-hour drive for me. But I was game for it because something just did not appear right. So based on some of the tidbits that I gave you, and if you looked incubation up, when you were about to lose yourself and not wishing to lose yourself, you may be drove into incubation. But it's not a thing about being drove into it. It was what the creator within our universe has decided that was fit for me. And I can tell you what, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. It caused me to do a little bit of ego purging, get closer, and understand that it's only going to get harder. But as the days go on, I'm learning to handle it pretty darn well based on the incubation. And I suggest that for anybody, at some point in your life, you're going to need an incubation cycle. And with that being said, I hope that this video of me explaining the pre-incubation adversity gives you an understanding in more detail on when it's time that you may need to replant and pursue more growth, wisdom, strength, understanding, and a lot of other things. So at this point, I close this video. I hope that helps you out, gives you a better understanding. And until the next time that we meet, always remember to hold your head to the sky and remain to have peace and love.